know what's so attractive about younger women? Because a lot of these dudes talk about fertility and looks and stuff. I don't actually think it's that. I think that in the modern world, in the days of old, right, you'd meet a woman, you get married, you be together, whatever. In the modern world, if I meet a girl who's 33 and single, I know the amount of dick that's been through her before me is just simply unattractive. I don't care how nice you are, but you're 33 years old. How many men have fun? If I get a 19-year-old girl, I might be her second or third man, right? I'm going to be dude number fucking 29, and all the trauma and heartbreak and bullshit they put you through, you're going to try and bring to my door? Like, well, my last man cheated. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Like, why is that my problem? So if you pick up older women, you have to accept they've been on the carousel longer. They've had more fucking rides, more spins. I don't want that shit. When I see a beautiful young woman, I know that she has a very low body count. And also, but the truth is this. Women's mentality is absolutely connected to sex. If a woman sleeps with a bunch of men, it's harder to penetrate her mind and make her fall in love with you. It is unattractive, too. And it's unattractive. It is. But if she's had 30 dudes inside of her, she really gonna think, you know what, this guy's so special, or she's gonna think, you know what, he talked to me rude, I'll just go get a new guy. Whereas if a woman's only been with a few guys, she's much more likely to fall in love with you, be a better partner. So the likelihood of her falling completely in love with you and staying loyal to you and really believing you're the only man for her after being through so much trauma and so many men and sleeping with so many dudes and having her heart broken and having those memories of her ex and all that crap she's been through is far less likely than meeting a nice, young, beautiful girl who hasn't been with many men and she goes, you know what, this is the guy, I like him. Every woman who knows this and every man who watches this can be honest. Women fall in love with the person they lose their virginity to or their second or third guy. They really remember them. They really love them. Any woman who slept with 50 dudes, she doesn't even remember who most of them are. She doesn't care. If a woman slept with a bunch of men before you, she's less likely to stick it out through a difficult period in a relationship. She's more likely to just say, you know what, new answer's new dick.
That's a pretty good answer.
And that's the truth. Let me make something clear. If I meet a beautiful 30-year-old woman, I'm not saying I won't sleep with her.
That's pretty fucking old.
Yeah, 30. What are you, crazy?
There's been times I was drunk.
Have you guys give your reaction to that? Go ahead.
I think he's actually so disgusting, but I don't give a fuck because like that's not the type of man that I'm trying to go for.
Yeah.
And I would never ever date someone like that. So I don't even care what he thinks. Like, I don't care.
Wait, more thoughts. We need a bit more thoughts on that from
that's
you.
Like 100% where I'm at
Literally,
too.
like I just like it like disgusts me to hear his voice and the things that he says. Like he's almost like pedophilic in a way and everything. And like the whole like I don't know. That's just me. But
yeah,
he is
agree.
going for younger women because of that. And like it just doesn't like I don't know.
How is he pedophilic?
Wait, let her finish.
He has talked about like multiple occasions how he goes for like 18-year-old women. He's an older man, like,
okay.
But
and it's because they've been like run through less and everything. And I don't know.
Let's let the girls give their take and then we'll come in. But just to be clear, I think we shouldn't even use that word on YouTube. But
sorry.
He is talking about adult. Just to clarify, he is talking about adult women. But really quick, let's continue on here. So what's your take on the video?
Well, he's just really stupid. Like, he just talks like a really stupid person. And usually I don't even react to really stupid people. I'm just like, oh, all right, moving on with my life. No time to waste. But for the purpose of this exercise, I would just be like, he's really insecure. Like, probably has a really small dick. But some guys with small dicks are super fucking confident and awesome and cool. So yeah, it's just
let's not penis size shame here. Let's not shame.
He's shaming. What do you mean?
He's like, shaming women.
Like,
let's not shame.
He's shaming age and
like,
whatever. No.
He can shame as much as he wants.
Let's be nice to the gentlemen with small penises here.
He's just very insecure. He's like, oh, if like this girl has slept with 30 men, then who am I to them? I'm like, oh, well, so you must not be very good in bed then, right?
What if he's fantastic in bed?
Then why would he care?
Right.
Wait.
Why would he say like, oh, like there's been 30 guys, therefore she wouldn't love me anymore? I'm like, oh, all right. So you can only go up against 5, not 30, right?
Sure.
All right.
He literally said like, well, something's going to go wrong and she's going to just see herself out and find somebody better. Like 100%. She's going to see herself out and find somebody better. That's just, he wants girls who don't know that there's a way out. He wants girls that don't know that there are people that are going to respect them and treat them well. That's how I was at 18 and 19 too. I thought that the guy that I was going to be with for the rest of my life was this motherfucker who absolutely treated me like shit. Like I thought that was it for me. And luckily I figured out that it wasn't, So it's like, that's very true. When you're that age, you think that that's all that there is. You have a very, very small view of guys in the world. And like, that's absolutely terrible that he wants somebody that doesn't understand that you could be treated better.
Alex, did you have something else you wanted to add there? It looked like maybe you wanted to.
No, I was just saying facts. So because I did see like that video of him talking about how he could like imprint like a younger woman and everything, and it is like he is trying to like take advantage of younger women that don't know better. And that's
And every single girl can definitely admit that when we're 18 and 19, we don't know. We don't know a good relationship yet. Like, we will not. Unless you're very, very lucky and you get one that age, but a lot of people don't. Like, I did not get a good relationship until I was like 23. So it's like...
But so just really quick here, do you think that he's wrong for wanting to or having the preference of dating younger women?
I don't think that exact preference is wrong, but I think that his motivation of them staying with them because they will stay with him for no matter how he treats them, I think that is wrong.
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying
that's exactly what he said.
I think he's saying he doesn't want women with a ton of baggage.
He said exactly, if things go wrong, she's gonna leave me for somebody else. If things are hard, she's gonna leave me for somebody else. If things are that wrong where you feel like you need to leave, I feel like every person in a relationship, no matter guy or woman, should feel like they can leave and feel like if it's bad enough to where you want to leave, you should be able to leave.
That's fair.
But couldn't it be that someone that's been with 50 people, they're just so quick to just move on, so he wants someone that's going to be more invested.
I don't think that's true.
You were saying that earlier in the conversation. Sure. You were literally saying
it's easier to move on if I'm being treated like shit. If I'm being treated so badly to where it's hurting my mental health and where it's not healthy for me to be in the relationship, I feel more confident in myself now because I know how to be treated well and I know what good relationships look like. I've left relationships not because they were bad, just because it was time for me to leave. It wasn't right for me in other parts of my life, but I know how to be treated well. I know that some relationships that I've been in, they've treated me great. There was other reasons why it needed to end. So like I've learned how to be treated well, and I've noticed different ways where I can be treated well. I'm not going to stay with somebody who's treating me badly because I think that's my only option. When I was 18, 19, 20, I thought that was my only option. So I've learned from being in different relationships what it's like to be treated well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Really
quick, we're going to get to you, Jane. Okay. Just really quick, what is your kind of first impression or just your thoughts, not necessarily on what he just said, but just your thoughts on him?
Disgusting.
Can you say that again when the camera's on you?
Disgusting.
Stupid.
I just think that it's predatory. It's predatory. I'm not saying to like younger people. I'm just saying to people who don't have experience. It's definitely dangerous.
So here's how I feel. I feel like what he's trying to say is the reason he likes to go for younger women is, one, they have less baggage. Two, they have this innocence about them. But
Actually, Jane, why don't we just move you over here now?
Okay.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Bye.
I'm just gonna get up and waddle over here now. Okay. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
But where I'm trying to go with this is that a good man would support a younger girl, right? Not just financially, but emotionally, and lead her well. That's technically what you would want in a relationship, right? If you're going towards a biblical setting. If you're non-religious, then how you feel you want to be led is completely different. That is what you would ideally want. He does happen to say some semi-abusive things sometimes about women. I don't support those. I think what he's trying to say is an old school method of, I would rather date a younger woman and support them and give them like that care and that mental strength and, you know, help them grow into this bright young person whoever they're going to be. But in this instances, how he talks about, you know, telling women to send him money, how he says like he can fuck anyone he wants and he can treat women however he feels. That's abusive, that's wrong, and that's toxic. That is not a loving man. That's not a leading man. That's not somebody I'd want to be with. You know, and that's
have you seen some of his other clips?
Oh, I've seen a lot of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I when I first watched him, I watched like a reel or something on TikTok, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's cool. And then I really watched his shit, and I was like, no, yeah, this is not what I envision for a very, you know, hyper masculine alpha male. I just feel like a real alpha male is someone that's going to lead a woman and support them and let them grow, not abuse them and make them feel like they're just a piece of ass, which is basically what society tries to do to us, you know. So.
It's facts.
That's how I feel about that.
We're going to have Brandon give his take.
Just repeat one more time the question.
Oh, just your reaction to the video we just watched.
You know, the guy's obviously found a pocket where he can voice certain things either calmly or boisterously, and people are going to listen and chime in. For the most part, he's playing to the ear of men. You know, a lot of guys are going to hear what he has to say, and if they don't agree with it, they're going to sound kind of maybe soft or a little, you know, sheltered. So, you know, for the sake of being a guy, they're going to agree with what he says. He does well on YouTube, and he's all about getting a reaction, and that's just about all I hear as far as the substance coming from that man, is he wants a reaction, and he's touching on issues that are sensitive, and he's saying some things that are true, but to kind of generally just cast that as this is what it is, black and white, like, nah, man, he's getting a reaction, and people are reacting to it, and he's doing his job on YouTube.
Tanner?
I couldn't have said it better. Like, for me personally, like, you know, I date kind of like younger women, a few years younger than me. Just like my preference. I guess it would come with like slightly less baggage, but I do think that a lot. I've never watched a lot of Andrew Tate's, like, you know, like gone like watch his videos or anything like that. It's like very like small clips, but I think it's just a social media algorithm. I mean, I'm sure you know that, Brian. Like the more like out there that you are,
he's
the more
he's for sure intentionally being controversial.
100%.
But I think he does believe what he says, but he's obviously hamming it up a bit for the controversy, for attention, you know. So
yeah, definitely. It's gonna like his content is gonna like really, you know, spike a queue with like, you know, just younger men that want to get out there and get after and whatnot. But
I think he's very funny.
It's funny.
I
no
like
doubt,
it.
but
I don't
you're
agree,
unfiltered. You know?
I don't agree with everything that he says, but he's for sure funny.
Yeah,
I do agree with him on a good amount. Okay.
What?
I agree with him on some shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll say this. There's actually a lot
Why
of
would you
things.
admit that?
I'll say this right now to back Brian up. There's a lot of things that I agree with that he says.
I mean, they're just like,
I will also say.
I
will also
like,
say.
like the girl will cook and clean or whatever. I'm chill with that, but like so much.
Wait, just into the microphone, please.
I said, I mean, like, what do you agree with? Like, the girl that will cook and clean? Because I'm like, I'm
I'll
chill with
explain it.
that.
I'll
But,
explain
like,
it.
everything else that he said about the baggage and the young woman and all that shit, what do you mean?
Was 100%
Well,
facts.
let me ask you guys a question really quick.
Yes.
It's okay. Like, they can
Wait, I'm
think
That's
differently
fine,
than
that's
that.
fine.
I want to hear what he's going to say.
Let me just ask a
Yeah.
quick clarifying question. So, who do you think is more jaded? Someone who has less sexual and relationship experience, or someone who's had more relationship and sexual experience?
I'm going to respect the person who has more relationship experience because they know what they want and like they've been through it. They're not like, I've dated guys who haven't had very many relationships and like less connections, and they're just so lost. Like they don't know what they even think or what they want for the future.
But do you want a man to lead?
I don't know.
Because I think men.
No, I don't. I don't really care about that.
Okay,
I am
sure.
fine with leading. Like I'm good with leading.
You'll lead.
Yeah.
In the
Do you
bedroom.
want to though?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
lead in
all right,
in any sense of the way. I will lead. Absolutely. Anybody that knows me knows
So
that's true.
would you get with a guy who's a virgin?
I guess it wouldn't be like a deal breaker, but I don't see myself talking to anybody that's like that because like we don't have the same like social circles and ideals. I feel like that would be a little bit weird. I'm 27. Like I feel like I wouldn't meet a guy who's 27 and is a virgin, especially like the people that I know, those social circles that I'm in. Nobody's really like that at this point. So probably not, but not because like that's like a huge deal breaker for me.
What about just a guy who's sexually inexperienced, and you had to basically?
I've dated like somebody who's kind of a little bit like that, and it just like doesn't really work in the long term for what I'm looking for.
Okay. Sorry, you want to come in here, Chase?
Yeah, I want to make my point. Like, have you guys ever heard of the term alpha widowed?
No.
That's some red pill shit that
It
I don't
is.
think anyone's gonna know unless they're familiar. But
All right, so basically, this is the idea that like one of the things Tate said in that clip is that a guy can leave an imprint on a woman, right? Do you guys kind of know what he means by that?
What was it?
That's what I hate about that video.
Yeah.
It's true though.
Yeah.
This is the thing. It's
Okay,
true.
what did he say?
So I'll explain it to you. So like, if a girl ends up with a guy who she really loves and like he's like the best she's ever had, and you know he gives it to her really good in the bedroom, and like she looks up to him so much. Like I don't know if you guys have been deeply in love with a man who you really respect. but,
Yeah.
like, say
Definitely.
you're with a
I
guy
know that
like
Alex has too.
Okay, so say you're with a guy like that.
Like
Yeah, it's okay.
So say you're with a guy like that, and then he breaks up with you or whatever it is, maybe he wants another woman. Women very often, they will almost never forget about that man. And it depends on the woman. Like maybe you guys haven't been quote unquote imprinted in this way, but like, I don't say this from a place of conceit. Like I've had exes where I know like after me, they're going to be thinking of me when they're with their next guy.
Do you think that that's like specific to guys? Like that happens to guys too.
It does. It
like,
does.
That happens to everybody. It's not gender
you're right,
specific.
But I've found, I know a lot of dudes and I know a lot of women. It's extremely common among women, and it's not as common among dudes.
Extremely uncommon among it's.
I know a lot of dudes who this doesn't happen to. And my point is when you have a girl that's getting closer to her 30s, like you said, a lot of girls have a lot of baggage, and like they've got demands. They're like, I want a man who's going to commit to me, and you know, they might have a lot of thoughts about their exes and stuff, and maybe it's distorted the way that they look at relationships. And it's different from a younger girl who hasn't had a ton of exes that have like affected her in that way. Baggage is real. Ladies.
I just feel like baggage is the same. It's the same thing with men.
Is that not true?
It's kind of, we're talking about as like the archetype of like the 35-year-old like wine drinking dog mom. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just like, oh, like all women or all men are like this, like everyone's like this, and I need like these standards. And it's like, okay, like if every single dude that you've ever been with, ever had a relationship with, like they're 100% of the problem. Like they take zero accountability for all that. It's like, come on now.
I feel like too.
Yeah,
like,
you wanted to come in with something, right?
Yeah, well, all I was just going to say is that for me, I was in a relationship 2.5 years ago, and I really love that person a lot. And I have not been able to be in a loving relationship to that extent because I took away from what I had, right? The good and the negative, right? From both sides. And I realized really quickly, I was like, you know what? It's going to be really difficult for me to like fully fall in love with someone again. And that baggage is hard. Because I've met. That's what
I'm talking about.
And I've met, and this is for everyone. This is how I feel on both gender and whatever your sexual, orientation is on both. You know what I mean? I feel that it's very difficult because I have met guys that I've, casually dated for like maybe 2 or 3 months, 4 months, and they're like, they want to be committed to me. Yeah. They want to fucking get an apartment together. They want to like get a dog together. And I'm not present. I'm not there. I don't have that same amount of love that I had 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, that's
and
totally
it's very hard because you get so invested in another person. And, I understand. I went through that separation. I understand that person's that person now, and I'm who I am. But I have to realize, like, I can cause issues to other people without realizing it, and it's very frustrating, sometimes. So
100%.
That's the.
I just really quick. I'm wondering if we can all scoot over a bit so we can get Brandon in this shot now. Brandon, are you? Can you try to just scoot over, and we're gonna see if we can get. Can we get? Are you able to just get in a bit?
My boss watching this right now.
Right there works.
All right, yeah.
He's gonna see the timestamp on this.
That works.
So can I say one thing to what she said a few minutes ago?
Yeah, go for it.
So like one thing I totally agree with you on is that Andrew Tate is not at all a good role model from like a biblical sense. Like he definitely does.
Whoa. He's a Christian man.
Yeah,
he's a man of God.
I'll believe he's a man of God.
Andrew Tate is a man of God.
I'll believe he's a man of God when he repents of his rampant fornication, and when he like actually conforms to a biblical sexual standard, and when he actually conforms to tries to conform to the image of Christ. Like I don't think people who just call themselves Christians like actually deserve that title sometimes. But that's beside the point. The point was, I don't think he's an example of biblical masculinity. Yeah. I think he does, to what you two were saying, I think he does take advantage of the fact that like younger women, like a guy in that position, if a guy's super powerful and he has like a lot of money and stuff, and like an 18-year-old girl ends up with him, really easy for her to get abused. And like she's gonna think, oh, he's the best I can get, so I have to put up with like verbal abuse or whatever it is. That's totally legit. I agree with that, and that's wrong. The thing I like about him is that he's spitting a lot of hard truths that people need to hear. The thing I don't like about him is that there's young boys that are listening to the stuff that he's saying, and they're thinking, oh, this is 100% how I should treat women. And I don't, this whole conversation I've been talking about the importance of marriage and stuff. Like I don't think he's contributing towards building like healthy marriages. No. Is my point.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. No. By the way, I know that you guys were a big fan of Andrew Tate. So we have 2 more clips if you guys want to watch them. No. But